Hello everyone, welcome back. Hello fellow writers. So last night I did chapters I think 11 and 12 for the journey story, and today I did chapter 13. So I'm gonna keep working on it and maybe add some new chapters. The thing is, with the former draft, the chapter that I'm about to work on is where I left off. So after that point, I'm just gonna be making new scenes and new chapters, and that's gonna be a lot of brainstorming, just trying to figure out how I want things to develop. My main character has met her love interest, and so now I have to figure out how things are gonna be, because I might have to do like a big time jump, but I don't know where to put that. And I'm talking years, like several years. Well, not several years, maybe a few, but I just don't know how much to show of their early relationship, because most of the plot is focused on like later on in their relationship, and then everything else that's happening during that time. So I'm just trying to figure out how I want things to develop, but it's just difficult. I kind of go back and forth on, what is the story that I'm trying to tell? And I have an idea, I have the themes, but I still have to understand my characters a little bit more. I haven't really interacted with the story in a while, so I kind of have to go back and read through my character descriptions and kind of remember what I wanted to tell through these characters, and then that could help me finalize the plot. So I may be doing that a little bit today. I think once I finish chapter 14. There's like a bunch of birds right outside my window. But anyways, I don't know. I might just work on that for a little bit before I go back into the journey story. So that's my update for you, and I'm gonna get into chapter 14 now. Okay, so I forgot to mention that I finished The 100 Secret Scents by Amy Tan, and I really enjoyed that story. It was hard to get into in the beginning because it was like had some narratives in the past, but it wasn't like a flashback necessarily, and I didn't really understand what was happening or why these stories were being told, until obviously you keep going in the story and then you realize, oh, okay, now I understand what's going on. But I really liked it. The characters, you can really connect with the characters. You can really understand that they have their own like personalities, and one character doesn't blend into another. And I really enjoyed it, but the ending really broke me. I was not expecting that at all. I was thinking something else was gonna happen, and I'm still like, what the heck? Why did you leave us like this, in this like suspense? Because what? So I definitely encourage y'all to read that if you're interested. So Queen of Blood by Sarah Beth Durst, and then 100 Secret Scents by Amy Tan. Go read those books. And hey, Holly Black's Book of Night, if y'all are interested, you could read that. I didn't like the writing style, so I just couldn't really get into it, but the premise is interesting. The next book I have is The Daughter of Time by Josephine Tey. Actually, I misspoke the last time. I'm not at the chapter where this draft ends off. I'm at the second to last one, I think. This is in the other person's point of view, so I'm gonna work on that now.
So here I am working on the journey story, of course. And then I run into a problem. I realized that I really just have a bunch of scenes. I know an overall theme that I'm going for and what I want the characters to learn, but it doesn't feel like I have an actual plot. I just have a bunch of things that I want to happen. So that I don't know where to go from here.
Ooh, look what I got in the mail. It's a book. The 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. I've never read anything from her. This would be my first time, and I'm really excited. I'm gonna read this after I finish The Daughter of Time. Hello, fellow writers. So you saw a little bit of me working on the journey story, and yes, I'm a bit stuck. This story is heavily character driven, and that means that I think I might have to go back to my pantsing ways because I don't know what's gonna happen. I have to let the characters tell the story, but in order to do that, I have to start writing. I have an outline for 18 chapters so far, which is pretty good. And I brainstormed some other ideas of what I want to happen and also use like old ideas that I already had. So that's what I was doing, but I realized I can't treat this story like the other ones because it's not, because with LKZ there was a clear objective of this happens and this happens and it has these elements and this is the beginning, middle, and end. But with this story, well, I have the beginning, the first 18 chapters. I have a hazy idea of the very, very end, and then I have certain scenes for the middle. But I just don't know how all of those things are gonna fit together. And in what, well, I know what order, but I don't know how they're all gonna fit together. Because I really want to show the characters developing over time. You know, my main character, well, the two main characters, my main character, I'm just trying to figure out what her development is of like really facing reality, facing her situation and not trying to hide behind perceived confidence, I guess. And my other main character, he's just going back to his old ways of sweeping things under the rug and pretending like everything is fine because he's like, I don't have time for this. I have things to do. Like, I can't be seen as weak. And so that's really hurting him because there's a lot he needs to say. And he's just like, whatever, I'm just gonna ignore it. And then it becomes a problem. I just don't know how exactly I am able to show that. And that's why I thought about just brainstorming a bunch of scenes that show those two characters dealing with their issues and then find a way to fit it together. And kind of like write it in order, but some of the scenes I'm even thinking of, I don't really like it. Like, I'm not really interested in putting it in there. So I think I'm just gonna focus on world building because there's a lot for that story as well, different kingdoms and whatnot. So I think I'm just gonna focus on world building, and then maybe that might help me a bit, and then dive into actually writing it, which I don't know if I'll be doing that anytime soon because there's obviously another story that I needed to get plot ready. So yeah, that's the thing about this story then. It can't really be plot ready because I can't get a plot down. I mean, I guess I do have a certain plot, I guess the character's development is really the plot. Yeah. I'm gonna still put it in plot ready. I'm gonna add a few notes about certain things and then about like what I just mentioned and put it in plot ready and focus on world building and see what comes up, because I do know how I want this to go. I just don't know how I want to show it. I think that's my thing. I know what I want my readers to get from it. I'm just having a hard time showing it, but by writing it, I will have that out. I've been working on the sci-fi novel and updating that outline. So I've been like, because I had an old outline, but then, yeah, so basically what I'm doing is taking the stuff from the old outline and then putting it into the updated outline and then tweaking the things that I changed and took out and added. And then I showed you guys a little bit of it the last time. This is what I have so far. I'm still working on chapter 10. I'm thinking of combining chapters 7 and 9. They're the same narrator, and they're just 7 is way too short on its own, and so is 8. But I'm thinking if I combine 7 and 9 and then make 8 longer, that'd be nice. But this is what I have, and this story only goes, what I wrote for Nano only goes up to chapter 11. So tonight I'm just gonna try to finish 10 and then might move on to something else, but I don't know what I would move on to, so I might just continue, but we'll see. Dun, 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 dun. Plot ready. Now I just have to finish world building for that as well, and then work on GB.